York. I mean, this is going to come in handy. I'm so excited I get an oar. Here, can I give you this too? Maybe I can use it on television? Hold that thought. I want to thank you all so much for being here tonight, for having me tonight. I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be here with the honorees. And I've been a big fan of Maine People's Alliance for a very long time. Some of the folks in the room know. I used to be an organizer. I used to work with the Center for Community Change. I was a longtime ally of MPA. I'm a huge fan of all the amazing and important work that you do. So thank you. I mean, give yourselves a hand and another hand for our honorees. And I am so thrilled I get to talk to you this week, of all weeks. I mean, what a week for justice, right? What a week for justice. You know, if our founding fathers were here tonight, they would be so proud that we are advancing our ideals and forging a more perfect and inclusive union. George Washington would totally be officiating gay weddings. I also think Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr would be getting married. I mean, was I the only one who thought that whole duel thing was full of sexual tension? And our founding fathers and mothers would be chomping at the wooden bit to exercise their own expanded rights, except for, of course, voting, but, you know, can't be a perfect week. It's one of those weeks where we take 10 steps forward as a nation and 2 steps back. Right? Gay rights expanded. Voting rights for communities of color constricted. A woman's right to control her own body was heroically defended in a 13-hour filibuster by Texas. But this right-wing backlash keeps being whipped up into a frenzy. The United States Senate passed historic immigration reform legislation that includes a path to citizenship for 11 million aspiring Americans. But conservatives won't be satisfied until we turn our southern border into a war zone. And here in Maine, Republican and Democratic legislators voted to override the governor's veto and pass a bipartisan budget. Yet the ugly math and uglier consequences of austerity continue to plague this state and our nation. Although I do want to take a second and thank Governor LePage for helping me write my remarks tonight. You know, he really provided the lubrication for what... Thank you and good night. Look, around the world, every day, more and more people are standing up for truth and justice and opportunity for all. And yet the divisions between the haves and the have-nots are greater and greater. The tales of repression and violence get worse and worse. The ability of ordinary people to effect real change seems harder and harder. Our hope for a better tomorrow can seem inspired one moment and naive the next. All of our good intentions can seem drowned out by hatred. So not a day goes by that I don't get hate mail. It can at times be overwhelming. I'm a progressive on Fox News, after all. Complete strangers who I've never met, who've never met me, take time to find my email address so that they can tell me I'm stupid or ugly or anti-white or too liberal or all of the above. I'm going to give you some of my favorites, just because, you know, hey, it's been that kind of week. You know, when you write an article on Times website saying how affirmative action has mostly helped white women, and then you write an article on the Fox News website celebrating the striking down of DOMA, you get some interesting email. This is my favorite from this week. It's hard to pick a favorite, but this is it. From the first day I saw you on Fox News, I knew there was something wrong about you. Then, today, I heard you say you were gay. Which is, by the way, to say nothing of the fact that this person couldn't figure this out on their own previously. And then there's this one. Please stop wasting our oxygen, you moron. I really like the environmental undertones in that one. You know. So it's me causing global warming. Oh, I get it. You are precisely what's wrong with this country right now. Has anyone in this room ever sent hate mail? Okay, that's right. No, because sane, normal people don't actually send hate mail. Only crazy people send hate mail, and I don't know about you, I don't have time to send hate mail. I don't even have time to do my laundry. But, let me tell you, the people who send hate mail not only take up a disproportionate amount of my inbox, they actually take up a disproportionate amount of our oxygen and our society's discourse. They literally fill our air with more particles of hatred per inch than are naturally occurring in our environment. Here we go, this one's good. You are one of those, I guess you're a women, who will never have to worry about a man attacking you because you are too much of a dyke-looking witch. You need to take your ugly, spelled U-G-L-E, your ugly blank home and hide. And hide. That's what they want to do. They want to scare us and shame us into a corner. The voices of hate here and everywhere are trying to kill our progress and quash our hope. They want us to feel that our demands for justice, our demands that are popular and righteous, are immoral and wrong. We are the vocal majority. But the voices of hatred want us to sit down and shut up. And you here in Maine know exactly what I'm talking about. You know hatred. And I don't mean the way that you guys hate a lobster roll that doesn't have enough mayonnaise in it. Or too much. I mean the kind of hatred that tries to stop you from doing what's right for your family, your community, your country, and your world. I mean the kind of hate that tries to rewrite a state constitution to exclude an entire group of citizens. Apparently, somehow they know this, the Buddha once said, hatred does not cause hatred. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. The eternal rule. We cannot fight hate with more hate, only love. You know, Jesus embraced similar ideals, to love thy neighbor, even when your neighbor hates you. A friend of mine tweeted recently, even if we don't like someone, seeing their vulnerability allows us to open our heart to like them. Like us, they suffer and long to be happy. I'm not saying, this is really important, I'm not saying the people who disagree with us are evil. I don't think they are. Not even the people who send me the most sexist and homophobic and anti-Semitic and racist, because yeah, I get racist hate mail too. One thing I've learned from meeting more and more conservatives in my work is that they truly think they're on the right side. Most conservatives care about poverty, they believe in racial equality, and they simply think their ideas are the best way to get us there. And I'm not saying there aren't some truly evil people in the world, but by far, not most. Not most. But too many are hateful. Too many allow their mix of personal despondence and ideological rigidity to bubble over into hate, to see opportunity and prosperity as a zero-sum us versus them deathmatch rather than a collaborative effort. They think if someone else wins, they lose. And understandably, right? Because for too long, that's how we've structured our economy and our political discussions, to keep all of us pitted against one another instead of uniting for the common good. But here's our secret. Not only do we not see the world in such stark terms, but we know that we can only move forward together, that my success isn't in competition with your success, but dependent on it. We depend on each other. We succeed together, which means we want a better world, not just for ourselves, but for everyone, including those people who oppose us. We want a better world even for the people who oppose us. When we win, it means more prosperity and opportunity and fairness for everyone. That is love. That is love. And like our vision, it only grows and expands. You know, when my friend and colleague, and I do mean friend and colleague, Fox News colleague Sean Hannity talks about liberals as the hate America crowd, he's sort of being Orwellian, because we're the ones who love everyone in this great country. We love everyone equally, right? Enough to fight for all of them. We're the ones who love gay people and straight people and black people and white people and immigrants and citizens and boys and girls and poor people and rich people. We are the ones who want everyone to have access to the same opportunity, the same chance to fulfill their hopes and dreams for the future. We are the Love America crowd. Still, it's not always easy to love our enemies, right? I mean, believe me, those hate mail messages I read are like the tame ones that I could actually say with children in the room. The intensity and ugliness of our opponents can be overwhelming, and I don't mean ugly like not attractive, though again, back to your governor. Maybe if I put Vaseline on my eyes. That's 2 Vaseline jokes for the price of 1, people, come on. No, I mean, we're talking about ugly words, ugly emotions, ugly acts and intentions that darken our spirits and our surroundings. It's hard to find love in those shadows. It's hard to find love for people who seem to hate us so much. But we must. We on the left are not only the voice of reason, we are the voice of compassion. And that compassion must extend to everyone, even those who disagree with us. There's a beautiful story about Nelson Mandela, who my thoughts and prayers are with this evening. After almost a half-century of apartheid, 27 years of which he spent in prison, Nelson Mandela was, in 1994, the first black president elected in South Africa. And imagine, that a lot of pro-apartheid Afrikaners were not so happy about this. Some of them were actually amassing weapons and preparing to declare an independent state to secede from the newly unified South Africa. One of his first acts as president, Mandela went by helicopter into the center of this white separatist region. In the middle of this all-white, very hostile neighborhood, he did the unthinkable. He sat down for tea with the 94-year-old widow of the architect of apartheid. He sat down for tea with her. It was a gesture of respect and kindness and love. And beginning with that generous pilgrimage, Mandela literally changed the conversation, changed the dynamic, and persuaded the Afrikaners to join him, to disarm and join him on the path to unity. We can continue to honor Nelson Mandela's character and vision by following in his footsteps. He once wrote, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, then they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." Again, it doesn't mean love is always the easy choice. I've been been with my partner for over 9 years, so believe me, I know it's not easy, right? Any show of hands? Okay. Love takes work, right? It takes commitment, it takes practice, it takes patience. The ability to find the good in others despite sometimes really frustrating evidence to the opposite. To find the humanity in all of us, which is precisely what our opponents so frequently fail to do. I'm not saying it's easy, I'm saying it's necessary. Those who disagree with us may hate us, but we do not hate them. We love them. We love them so hard. Not too hard, There's actually this great quote, a hug is a strangle you haven't finished yet. We don't want to love them too hard, Right. My point is, though, while our opponents see their struggle as us versus them, right? Either they win or they lose, we're fighting for all of us, for everyone, because we love everyone. We truly love everyone, and the world will be a better place for all of us when we succeed. It is precisely because we love everyone that we are fighting for a better world for everyone. For everyone. Alliance talks about giving it to the people, y'all mean love. Our movement isn't perfect. We're not perfect. We don't always embody the love and the humanity that's in our hearts. We can be racist and sexist and homophobic. We can be mean, even cruel. We can be unfair and unjust. But we can also strive to do better, to become more perfect like our union, more inclusive, more equitable, more compassionate, more loving. It's our desire to reach toward perfection that defines us. Just because we love justice does not mean we are always just, but it means we stretch and ache toward justice rather than dismissing it altogether. Your governor says the liberal Democrat Troy Jackson has no brains and has a black heart. Well, you know, people who live with glass arteries really shouldn't, be casting. Anyway, the reality is our hearts and our eyes are clear. They can throw all the insults they want. We will still love. They can fume all the anger they have. We will still love. They can spew all the hatred in their hearts, and we will still love. They are the hate, and we are the love. They are the dark, and we are the light. They are the sad, and we are the happy. They are the despondent, and we are the hopeful. They are the few, and we are the many. And they are the past, and we are the future. The hatred that they throw at us, the hate mail, the vitriol, the buckets of nastiness they try and dump on our causes and our heads are all designed to make us sit down and shut up. Are we gonna sit down? Are we gonna shut up? I want you to stand up for justice and stand up for equality and stand up for fairness and opportunity for all and keep fighting and shouting for hope and possibility and promise and change. We can make the world better. We will make the world better. We will stand taller and we will shout louder, and we will not be defeated. And we will win liberty and justice for all. Thank you.